at where the global financial system is heading. On February 28, 2026, coordinated airstrikes hit Iranian defense and leadership targets. Markets reacted immediately. Bitcoin dropped 4 to 5% on initial risk off selling. Stocks fell, oil spiked. But then something interesting happened on chain. Iranian exchanges in the days immediately following the strikes. Some hours saw outflows over $2 million. Nobitex, one of Iran's largest crypto exchanges, reported volume spikes of over 700% in outgoing transactions. Even during nationwide internet blackouts following the strikes, hundreds of millions in crypto kept moving. The blockchain does not care about power outages or government shutdowns. It kept running, and Bitcoin itself recovered faster than most traditional assets. Within days, it had clawed back its losses and was outperforming stocks in several sessions. That recovery pattern was different from what we saw in previous geopolitical crises. To understand what is happening, you need to understand the Iranian economy. The Iranian rial has lost over 90% of its value in the past decade. Inflation has been running at extreme levels for years. Ordinary Iranians watching their savings evaporate in real time have turned to Bitcoin and dollar-pegged stablecoins as a way to preserve purchasing power. This is not speculation for most Iranian users, it is survival. When your national currency loses half its value in a year, finding an alternative is not optional, it is necessary. Tether on the Tron network has become particularly popular because transactions are fast and fees are low. Bitcoin is used as a longer-term store of value. The pattern mirrors what we have seen in other countries experiencing currency crises, including Venezuela, Lebanon, and Turkey. Iran's total crypto volume has been estimated between $7 and $11 billion in recent years. That number has grown significantly as economic pressure has intensified. Now let's talk about the more controversial layer of this story. US authorities and blockchain analytics firms have documented that crypto has been used to circumvent Iranian sanctions. The scale is significant. Chainalysis and Elliptic have both published research showing that IRGC linked addresses have moved billions in crypto over the past several years. The mechanisms are relatively straightforward. Embargoed Iranian oil gets sold to buyers who pay in crypto instead of dollars. Funds move through decentralized exchanges and privacy tools to obscure origins. Stablecoins bridge the gap between crypto and local currency. The US Treasury and Justice Department have responded with sanctions on specific wallet addresses and exchanges that facilitate these flows. Israel has seized wallets containing significant USDT amounts tied to sanctioned entities. But here is the fundamental challenge regulators face. Blockchain is transparent enough to track flows after the fact, but it is resilient enough to keep operating under pressure. You can identify a wallet. You cannot shut down the network. This is not unique to Iran. Russia has used similar strategies since 2022 sanctions were imposed. North Korea has been documented using crypto to fund weapons programs for years. Iran is the most recent and most visible example of a state actor using decentralized finance as a sanctions workaround. Here is the bigger picture that matters for anyone following crypto. Every time a major government uses financial sanctions as a geopolitical weapon, it accelerates the search for alternatives. Swift exclusions, dollar freezes, asset seizures. These tools are powerful, but they also drive innovation in alternatives. We are now seeing this at multiple levels simultaneously. Individual citizens in sanctioned countries using crypto to preserve savings. State actors using crypto to fund operations outside the dollar system. BRICS nations building digital currency infrastructure to reduce SWIFT dependence. All of these trends point in the same direction. The demand for money that operates outside any single government's control is growing, and Bitcoin is the most established and liquid asset that fits that description. This does not mean Bitcoin is going to a specific price target. Anyone telling you exactly where Bitcoin is going based on geopolitical events is guessing. What we can say is that the structural case for Bitcoin as neutral borderless money is getting stronger with every major geopolitical development. It is worth being honest about the tension in this story. The same technology that lets an Iranian family preserve their savings from hyperinflation is the same technology that lets state actors move money outside international oversight. That duality is real, and it creates genuine regulatory challenges. Governments are responding in two ways. First, with targeted enforcement against specific actors and exchanges. Second, by accelerating their own central bank digital currency programs to maintain visibility and control over digital money flows. The irony is that heavy-handed crypto regulation in Western countries may actually accelerate the adoption of truly decentralized alternatives. Every time a government moves to control digital money more tightly, it strengthens the argument for money that cannot be controlled at all. That tension between programmable government-controlled CBDCs and truly decentralized crypto is one of the defining financial stories of the next decade. There are three things worth watching closely as this story develops. First, how the US and EU respond to documented crypto sanctions evasion at scale. More aggressive exchange regulation is likely, potentially mandatory on-chain surveillance requirements for exchanges operating in Western jurisdictions. Second, whether the Iran situation accelerates BRICS crypto infrastructure. Iran is already pushing crypto payments within BRICS trade networks. If that becomes formalized, it represents a significant shift in how sanctioned nations interact with the global economy. Third, how Bitcoin continues to behave during geopolitical stress. The February recovery pattern was notable. If Bitcoin consistently shows resilience and faster recovery than traditional assets during crises, institutional investors will take notice in a meaningful way. The story of crypto in Iran is not just about sanctions evasion. It is a real-world stress test of whether decentralized money actually works when the stakes are highest. And the data says it does. If you want to stay on top of how geopolitics is reshaping crypto every week, subscribe to Crypto Clarity. We break down what is actually happening without the hype. See you in the next one.